The Thylaurian Empire had built their reputation on two fundamental principles: overwhelming military superiority and an unshakable belief that the universe desperately needed their guidance. For the past 2 millennia, their patrol fleets had swept through the Nexus corridor like cosmic hall monitors, ensuring that lesser civilizations remained appropriately lesser, and that trade routes operated according to proper Thylaurian standards of efficiency and tribute collection. Admiral Krexvote stood on the command deck of the dreadnought Cosmic Majesty, his crystalline carapace gleaming under the harsh bridge lighting. At 12 feet tall and possessed of 6 arms that could crush tritanium with casual effort, he cut an impressive figure that had intimidated star systems into submission without firing a shot. The fact that his species resembled militant geometric prisms had only enhanced their reputation as the galaxy's premier enforcers of order. "Patrol status, Commander Jektal," he rumbled, his voice carrying the particular resonance that Thylaurians had perfected over centuries of making other species feel inadequate. "Fleet Commander Jektal," whose crystalline structure pulsed with subdued authority patterns, consulted his tactical display. "Sector 7 Alpha remains secure, Admiral. The Meridani trade convoys have submitted their required tribute documentation, and the Volfac Mining Consortium has acknowledged our territorial supremacy. All inferior species are behaving within acceptable parameters." Krexvote's satisfaction resonated through his crystal matrix. The Empire's patrol doctrine was elegantly simple: maintain overwhelming force presence, demand appropriate respect from lesser civilizations, and ensure that galactic commerce operated according to Thylaurian principles of order and hierarchy. In 2,000 years of enforcement, no species had seriously challenged their authority. Excellent. And the status of our scanning grid? Fully operational, Admiral. Our quantum resonance arrays can detect and classify any vessel within a 12 light-year radius. The database contains detailed specifications for over 60,000 known ship configurations across 437 civilizations. Jektal's pride was evident in the harmonic overtones of his voice. "No vessel enters Thylaurian space without our complete knowledge of its capabilities, origin, and intended purpose." This was not me boasting. The Cosmic Majesty represented the pinnacle of Thylaurian engineering, a 3-kilometer-long testament to military precision that could reduce planets to asteroid fields or perform surgical strikes on individual buildings with equal efficiency. Its scanning systems could analyze the molecular composition of a ship's hull from 3 star systems away and predict crew psychology based on engine emission patterns. Tactical Officer Plixandra, whose nervous crystalline flickering betrayed her relatively junior status, monitored the sensor arrays with the dedication of someone who knew that missing even the smallest detail would result in immediate reassignment to asteroid mining duty. All scans showing normal parameters, Admiral. Standard merchant traffic, properly documented patrol vessels from allied civilizations, and the usual collection of primitive exploration craft that pose no tactical significance. The bridge hummed with the quiet efficiency of a military operation that had perfected its routines through centuries of unchallenged dominance. Officers monitored their stations with crystalline precision, their harmonic communications creating a symphony of organized authority that would have been beautiful if it weren't so insufferably smug. "Sir," Plixandra's harmony suddenly developed a discordant note. "I'm detecting an unscheduled hyperspace emergence at grid reference 997. Specifications: unknown, Admiral. The vessel appears to be..." She paused, her crystal structure cycling through several confused color patterns. "I'm having difficulty categorizing it." Krexvote's attention focused with the intensity of a military laser. In 2 millennia of patrol duty, Thylaurian sensors had never encountered a vessel they couldn't immediately classify. Elaborate. "The ship appears to be constructed from multiple technological sources. I'm reading hull sections that match 17 different engineering traditions, power systems that seem to operate on completely incompatible principles, and what appears to be..." She hesitated. "What appears to be a recreational storage compartment bolted to the main cargo bay." "A what?" "It's emitting entertainment frequencies, Admiral. Music, specifically. Very loud music." Commander Jektal moved to the tactical display, his crystalline form radiating skepticism. "Show me." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing what could charitably be described as a spacecraft. It looked like someone had taken the best parts from a dozen different ships, the adequate parts from a dozen more, and a few components that might have been salvaged from a recreational vehicle, then welded the entire collection together with industrial adhesive and boundless optimism. The hull bore scorch marks from what appeared to be multiple engineering mishaps. Several sections were clearly jury-rigged replacements that didn't quite match the original specifications, and the entire vessel was painted in a shade of orange that somehow managed to be both eye-searing and oddly cheerful. Various antenna arrays, mining equipment, and what looked suspiciously like a barbecue grill were attached to the exterior with casual disregard for aerodynamic principles. Sense of analysis. Craig's vote demanded. Plixandra's crystals flickered through a rapid spectrum of confusion. The readings are contradictory, Admiral. The power core appears to be a standard fusion reactor, but the energy output suggests they've somehow modified it to operate at 40% above theoretical maximum efficiency. The defensive systems read as minimal, but I'm detecting energy patterns that don't match any known weapon configurations. And the crew compliment. Yes. 17 beings, Admiral. But their biosignatures don't match any species in our database. This was impossible. The Thylorian Empire maintained the most comprehensive xenobiological database in the galaxy. They had catalogued everything from the silicon-based architects of Proxima to the energy beings of the Magellanic Clouds. The idea that 17 unknown life forms were casually cruising through their patrol sector in what appeared to be a flying junkyard was unsettling. Hail them, Craig's vote ordered. Standard Intimidation Protocol 9. The communications array activated with a harmonious chime. Craig's vote drew himself to his full imposing height, activated the translation matrix, and prepared to deliver the speech that had convinced countless civilizations to surrender without resistance. Attention unknown vessel. This is Admiral Craig's vote of the Thylorian Imperial Fleet, commanding the dreadnought Cosmic Majesty. You have entered sovereign Thylorian space without authorization. Identify yourselves immediately, prepare to be boarded for inspection, and ready your vessel for impoundment. Resistance will result in your immediate annihilation. He paused, waiting for the customary mixture of terror, pleading, and unconditional submission that invariably followed this announcement. Instead, he got what sounded like a coffee machine malfunctioning, followed by someone shouting, "Martinez! Turn down that music. We're getting a call." The volume of what could generously be called music dropped from assault on the auditory system to merely aggressively enthusiastic, and a voice crackled through the comm system. "Hey there. Sorry about that. We were just celebrating the completion of our latest efficiency optimization. This is Captain Torres of the mining vessel Persistence, and boy, are we glad to see you folks. We've been trying to figure out the local regulations for this sector for the past 3 days." Admiral Craig's vote blinked his optical senses in perfect synchronization. Local regulations. Oh yeah, absolutely. See, we operating under standard Earth control mining protocols, which require us to file impact assessments with a local authority before beginning any extraction operations. We've got our environmental compliance documentation ready for review, crew safety certifications are all up to date, and we're prepared to submit the required operational oversight fees. Commander Jektal leaned over to whisper, "Admiral, they are talking to us like we're regulatory administrators." "I am the regulatory authority." Craig's vote snapped, but even as he said it, he felt a strange chill in his crystalline matrix. "Fantastic." Captain Torres responded with genuine enthusiasm. "That makes this so much easier. Usually we have to deal with 3 or 4 different bureaucracies before we can get proper clearance. So what's the standard procedure here? Do we dock for inspection first, or can we transmit our documentation digitally? Fair warning, our communication array has been acting up since that solar flare near Beta Centauri, so if the files come through corrupted, we'll need to send them again." Plixandra looked up from her console with the expression of someone whose worldview was slowly dissolving. "Admiral, I'm running the ship's energy signature through our threat assessment database. And they are not even showing up as armed, sir. According to my scans, their primary systems are mining equipment. Mining equipment. Industrial-grade asteroid processing units or refinement systems, and what appears to be the most advanced geological survey array I've ever seen. Admiral, this isn't a warship. It's a mobile mining operation. Captain Tara's voice interrupted their analysis. Oh, and just so you know, we're planning to conduct a standard resource survey of this sector while we're here. Nothing invasive, just basic mineral composition analysis and geological stability assessments. We've found that proper survey work up front prevents a lot of environmental complications down the line. Environmental complications. Craig's vote repeated weakly. Sure thing. Strip mining operations can really mess with local gravitational patterns if you don't plan them properly. Plus, there are standard safety protocols for any mining work near inhabited systems. Speaking of which, we'll need to review your local environmental protection guidelines to make sure our operations stay within acceptable parameters. The Admiral felt something he had never experienced in 2 millennia of military service: complete confusion. We don't have environmental protection guidelines. Really? Who? That's unusual. Most civilizations have at least basic ecosystem preservation standards. No worries though, we can work with Earth Control's standard protocols. They are pretty comprehensive. Plixandra's crystalline structure went completely transparent. Admiral, I just searched our database for references to Earth Control. And threat level, black. Species designation, human. Classification, approach with extreme caution. Recommended protocol, avoid contact whenever possible. The bridge fell silent except for the gentle hum of life support systems and the sound of military careers ending. That's impossible, Commander Jekyll whispered. Humans are classified as. He trailed off as the implications hit him. Black-level threats were reserved for civilizations that could end entire star systems by accident. The Devourer swarms, the Quantum Collective, the Entropy cults, and apparently, humans. Pulling up detailed files now, Plixandra reported, her voice barely audible. Oh, Crystalline preserve us. The Vega incident. The Andromeda optimization project. The great helping of Sector 7. The last phrase was spoken in the tone normally reserved for natural disasters and tax audits. Attention, Cosmic Majesty. Captain Torres continued cheerfully. We're transmitting our standard documentation package now. You should be receiving operational permits, environmental impact studies, crew certifications, insurance documentation, and our standard first contact cultural sensitivity protocols. Oh, and we're including our geological survey preliminary findings. Figured you might want to know about the resource distribution in your local area. Resource distribution. Craig's vote managed. Oh yeah, this whole sector is sitting on some fantastic mineral deposits. The asteroid fields alone contain enough rare earth elements to supply a small civilization for centuries. With proper extraction techniques, you could probably increase local economic output by 300 or 400%. Commander Jekyll was accessing the human files with increasing horror. Admiral, according to these records, humans don't conquer civilizations. They optimize them. They what? They arrive, analyze local inefficiencies, and then proceed to improve everything through aggressive helpfulness. The Vega Confederation went from a minor trading post to the galaxy's primary shipping hub in 6 months. They claim it was voluntary. Was it? The vegans say yes, but they also say it with the kind of enthusiasm usually associated with Stockholm Syndrome. On the view screen, the Persistence had somehow maneuvered into what appeared to be a perfect inspection position without anyone noticing. Mining equipment was extending from its hull like mechanical flowers, already beginning what looked suspiciously like preliminary geological surveys. Admiral, Captain Torres announced, we're also going to need to conduct a standard safety inspection of your dreadnought. A what? Standard procedure when conducting operations near military vessels. We need to ensure that your ship systems won't interfere with our mining operations and vice versa. Plus, our insurance requires safety certification for any vessels operating within our work zone. Work zone. Craig's voter's voice cracked across several harmonic frequencies. Well sure, we can't just start mining operations without establishing proper safety perimeters. Standard Earth Control Protocol requires a minimum safe distance of 50,000 kilometers for any non-essential vessels during active extraction operations. Plixandra looked up from her console with the expression of someone watching reality collapse. Admiral, they are requesting access to our technical specifications, crew manifests, and operational procedures, plus our environmental impact assessments and workplace safety documentation, Jektal added in a strangled harmonic. And they want to schedule mandatory safety training for our entire crew, another officer reported. Captain Tara's voice took on an encouraging tone. Don't worry, folks, this is all completely routine. Earth Control handles thousands of these coordination cases every year. We've got the whole process streamlined down to about 6 weeks of paperwork, plus the standard optimization period. Optimization period. Krexvote whispered. Sure thing. Once we've identified efficiency improvements in your operational procedures, we'll help implement the changes. Most civilizations see a 20 to 30% increase in overall effectiveness. It's really quite impressive what proper industrial organization can accomplish. The worst part was that Captain Torres actually sounded helpful. Genuinely, terrifyingly helpful. Admiral, Plixandra said in a very small voice, they are also requesting our mining rights documentation for this sector. We don't mine. We're a military patrol. I know, Admiral. Apparently that's another inefficiency they'd like to help us address. On the view screen, the persistence had begun deploying what appeared to be a full industrial mining complex. Automated systems were assembling themselves with mechanical precision, creating a three-dimensional web of extraction equipment that somehow managed to look both chaotic and perfectly organized. All right, Cosmic Majesty, Captain Torres announced, we're ready to begin the coordination process. Our industrial specialists will be boarding in about 10 minutes to start the safety assessment. Please have your senior staff ready for the orientation briefing, and make sure someone has access to your operational databases. This is going to be fantastic. Krexvote looked around his bridge, taking in the terrified faces of his crew, the flashing warning indicators that suddenly seemed irrelevant, and the unstoppable industrial machine that was about to transform his perfectly ordered military operation into something involving efficiency reports and workplace safety seminars. Sir, Commander Jektal ventured quietly, should we retreat to a safe distance? He considered it. The Cosmic Majesty could be halfway back to Thylorian space before the humans realized they were gone. Attention, Cosmic Majesty. Captain Torres interrupted his escape fantasies. Just a heads up, we'll need departure clearances for any vessels leaving the work zone during active operations. Standard safety protocol to prevent industrial accidents. The forms are pretty straightforward, only about 20 pages per vessel. Krexvote's crystalline structure dimmed in defeat. Even running away required paperwork. Also, Torres continued with relentless cheer, I should mention that the Persistence was just passing through this sector on our way to the Kepler system mining contracts. We noticed some interesting mineral signatures and figured we'd do a quick survey while we were in the area. Really convenient that we ran into your patrol. Saves us the trouble of tracking down the local authorities. In the background, a voice could be heard. Captain, the geological surveys are showing massive untapped deposits throughout this entire region. We could set up a full extraction operation here. Excellent, Martinez. Add it to the development proposal. We'll include resource sharing agreements in the coordination package. Captain Tara's voice returned to full volume. Thanks for being so professional about this, Admiral. It's always refreshing when we encounter well-organized military operations. Makes the whole integration process much smoother. Krexvote stared at the view screen, where mining equipment was already beginning to reshape local asteroids into neat, efficient patterns. The most feared military force in the galaxy had just been conquered by space miners who thought they were being helpful. The airlock chimed, indicating the arrival of the coordination specialists. Well, he said to no one in particular, at least our operational efficiency will improve. Outside, the Persistence had begun broadcasting updated sector navigation data that would probably become the new standard for the region, its crew undoubtedly preparing to make the galaxy a more efficiently organized place, one helpful optimization at a time. And somewhere in the distance, other patrol fleets were receiving routine updates that would soon include the phrase, this sector now operates under Earth Control Industrial Coordination Protocols. The galaxy, it seemed, was about to become a much more productively managed place.